Make sage oil. Sage is a little shrub, yet it has a lot of helpful properties. It is known as great culinary flavoring, not to mention yet its medicinal properties. Though sage essential oil can be purchased in stores today, you can make sage oil yourself in the comforts of your own home. This guide will introduce you to 3 different ways of making sage oil. Take note that you need to have access to fresh sage stems and leaves. Here, follow these instructions for sage oil production. Prepare a good bottle, sage, and your preferred oil. This first method of making sage oil is the easiest and simplest version. For this process, you need a small dark bottle similar to bottles containing medicines. Also, you need to get a stack of sage leaves that are enough to fit inside the bottle that you have prepared. When speaking of the oil, you can use anything from olive oil, almond oil to vegetable oil. Pack the bottle with sage leaves. Start to put sage leaves inside the bottle. Make sure that you pack the leaves tightly inside and you pack them up to the top. Pour in the oil of your choice in the bottle. Fill the bottle with any oil that you prefer. After some time, the sage leaves will release their own oil together with the oil you have filled the bottle in. When this happens, you can already use your sage oil for whatever purpose it may serve you. Distill sage to get the oil from the herb. This is the traditional way to extract oil not only from sage but also from other herbs. To start with this, you must have a copper distiller. This machine can be bought in most aromatherapy shops and even online. Follow the instructions in terms of adding water and sage leaves to produce essential oil. Simmer sage leaves if you cannot access a distiller. Even if you don't have a distiller, you can still extract oil from sage leaves. Get a deep pot or kettle and add 2 quarts of water in it. Tie the stems and the leaves of the sage using a cheesecloth. Throw it in the pot, cover it, and let it simmer for a couple of hours. Extract the oil from the water with sage. Take the cheesecloth off the water and you can throw it if you wish. Let the boiled water to cool down first to room temperature. You will be surprised that all the oil from the sage will float the moment the water cools. Then, you can use poultry baster in suctioning the oil from the top of the boiled water. Store the oil in glass containers and seal them tightly. Sage oil has definitely a lot of uses. Hence, it will pay a lot if you know how to extract sage oil for your own use. With this, you never have to buy sage oil again for your culinary and medicinal needs. However, before you use your oil, take note that it must be used sparingly. Keep in mind that if sage oil is used more than necessary, it can end up giving you results that you are not eyeing to get from it, such as too much sedating effects.